to take up a topic that is related to lookups. Lookups. So what is a lookup in the system, team, and how to configure them in the system? See, team, from day one, we are coming across several screens in the system. The configurational setups you take, or the transactional things you take, anything, any task that you perform in the system, or any transaction that you perform in the system, team, by default on every screen, Oracle delivered standard fields or attribute you are looking at, team. For example, I will tell you, I'm trying to hire a new employee in the system, team. So if I go to my client group, and if I go to new person, let's say, team, if I go to my client group, and if I go to new person, team, I will land up on hire an employee screen. Correct. Right. Now I land up on this particular screen, team. So I could able to see several attributes coming over here, team. Several attributes coming over here, team. If I go to next field, or if I go to next field, any not next tab, sorry, not field, any screen that you be on the system, team, by default on every screen, you will see the attributes available, team. But here, certain attributes you will see as a open fields. They are okay, where as a person or as a HR, I have a scope to manually capture the data in those particular attributes, team. Correct. But some attributes, if you see, let's say title field is there on the hire an employee identification screen, team. So what is title field is having the options, team. I am having a list of drop down to choose. I have doctor, Miss, Mr., Mrs., Prince. I have some options coming up, team, from the list of drop down. Or let's take up gender, team. I have the options like female, male, someone defined CAS gender, something like that. Some attributes I'm having the list of values hanging to them for some attributes. Correct. What are those? They are called as lookup in the system, team. They are called as lookups in the system. The list of values that are available to the standard Oracle delivered attributes on any screens of the application is called as a lookup, team. What is the standard definition of a lookup, team? The list of values that are available to the standard Oracle delivered attributes. They all are standard delivered Oracle attributes, right? This title, gender, these all are standard Oracle delivered attributes only. So the list of values that are available to the standard Oracle delivered attributes on any screens of the application. Example, I am on this particular task of hire an employee. You take up any screen from day one, either it might be the configurational setups in the system, or it might be the transactions. Any screen you take, any module you take, not specific to core HR only, team. Any module, any screen you take, team. Whatever the attributes, attribute means a field which you are seeing on the screen, that we will call as attribute. For any attribute, you see a list of values option coming to them, the values. These list of values are called as lookups in the system, team. So now I am on this particular screen. I have the fields like title, gender, legal employer is there. It is not a lookup, team. It is basically the legal employers that what we define in the system. We can see them here, team. And let's say I will go to something, some data I'm giving, team. People enabled dual name option. Okay. Okay. Let's go with any other option. Okay. I will talk about these things later. What are all these things? Because we are not came till this extent. And let me give some info here. And let me go to next team. Now if I The problem in the demo instance is people will do whatever they want. Just give me a second, team. You know that issue. See, already after one, many people been hired. Now someone changed it. That's fine. Ignore it, team. That is not an issue in your case. Okay. Now let me go back to the hiring screen. Some test information I'm giving. Okay. Whatever the mandatory fields are there, I'm giving team. All right. Now, if I go to the next tab, personal information tab, here also you can see team in the second tab also certain attributes coming with list of values team. Let's say I want to define phone details team. If I click on plus icon, I'm having that type. See company mobile, work phone, second phone, fourth phone, like that. Or if I want to define an email details of my employee team, I have work email, home email, office email, personal email, or marital status, see, single, married, divorced, or religions you take, or highest education level you take. Okay. Or in the citizenship and visa, if I expand also team, I have several attributes coming up here. See citizenship, the list of citizenship, the type of passport. Okay. Several attributes in the system team. Okay. You are having the attributes with list of drop down values coming up team. So these are called as lookups in the system, and we have the scope to configure these lookup values, customize these lookup values in the system team. How to do that one, let us see. Now, what is a lookup? We understood team. How to configure them? Let us see team. Go back. I will go to setup and maintenance. For configuring the lookups team, you should go to our regular implementation tasks. That is our setup and maintenance, and you can keep our offering workforce deployment and search with a task like team manage percentile look up and percentile. Why? Because team, for configuring the lookups in the system, we have individual tasks available team. In order to define the lookups team, on which screen you are going to define the lookups for the attributes team, you should be very clear on which screen. So for each of the object, let's say I want to define a lookups on the business unit screen, or I want to define a lookups for the fields on department configuration screen or grade screen. For each of the business object in the system team, we have an individual setup task available for lookup team. If you search like this, all the setups available for the lookups you can see here team. Manage geography lookups. This is for the geography screen, like manage geographies when you're defining whatever the list of values for there. Or manage location lookups. If I want to define a list of values for the attributes on the location configuration screen for locations, then I should go to manage location lookup. Manage organization lookup for departments and business unit, or manage job lookups, manage position lookups, or manage person lookups. Now I'm on the person information screen team. Like when I'm hiring an employee, I'm on the first and second tab, identification and person info. If at all on those screens, then I should go to manage person lookups team. Or if I want to define the lookups on the assignment screen, let's say while hiring only, the third screen, employment information, where I will capture the work terms and assignments. On that screen, if I want to define a lookup, then work terms and assignment lookups. Or termination screen, I want the termination lookups. Like that team, for different screens in the system, for different business objects team, we have individual lookup tasks available team. Now, where I want to define, I'm clear team. I want to define the list of values to the attribute on the employee personal information screen, like hire an employee, and when you're hiring an employee team, the first two tabs, identification and personal information screens. If you want to define a lookups on those particular screen teams, then you should go to manage person lookups team. We have a task available. We have with respect to country also team. You don't need to go with this. You can go with this common task called manage person lookups team. So once you go to manage person lookups team, you can see here all the fields on that particular person level screen with list of values available. See our email type, our marital status, our citizenship status, our ethnicity, highest education level, or our religion, passport type, phone type, title, visa permit type, city. These all are the attributes which we are able to see on the person screen. If you want, I can show you team. Just give me a second. I will open one more window beside. Let me just do one thing. Just I have unshared your screen. Just give me a second. Okay, if I go to new person team, hire an employee. Okay, on these two tabs, if you see team. Okay, on these two tabs, if you see team, we have something like see title, gender. You can see that attributes here team. In the manage person lookups, if you come team, see the title is here. And then somewhere you can also see the gender also somewhere. And then if you go to the next tabs team, like let's say if I give quickly some info here, let's say I'm hiring in any of the legal entity here, some info I will give. Okay, if I go to the second tab team, I can see here, see phone type. Somewhere I can see that phone type also team, see phone type. Or let's say I have something like email type here, this one, this attribute. So here I can see somewhere email type CT, and then I have marital status. Then I have marital status, see MAR status, and then religion. Then I have something called per religion here, CT. And then I have something called highest education level. Then I have something called highest education level. Then I have something like citizenship and visas, passport type team. So here I can see citizenship status or passport type. See team, all the attributes on the screen, whatever that you see with the list of drop down values coming in, all that attributes you can see in that particular setup team. Manage person lookup. This is the task for configuring the lookup values on the person screen, like identification and person info screen. Let's suppose on the employment info screen, if you want to define team, then you should come on manage work terms and assignment lookups team. Or if you want a lookup value to configure for an attribute on the job screen, let's suppose you want to create a job on that screen if you want, then you should go to manage job lookups, manage position lookups, manage grade lookups, manage organization lookup. Okay, and then manage, like for every object that you are going to configure team on any screens of the application, we have an individual setup available within the lookup team. Choose the appropriate task for the lookup team and then come to that particular attributes for which attribute you want to define new list of value. Let's suppose team, for this email type, I want to define team something called I want to configure something called emergency email. Let's suppose example, my client is telling Kumar, in the list of drop down here in the email details type, I want only work email, home email, and emergency email. I don't want these two options. Just give me those two options. I want to customize this values team for this field called email type team. How can I do that one? Come to that manage person lookup, identify the lookup which you want to customize. I want this one only team, email type only I want. Click on that one team. Click on that one team. You will land up on the person lookup screen for that particular lookup type. See, lookup type is email type. The lookup type is right team. And here you're going to customize that particular values for that particular email type attribute team. Now, within the concept of lookups team, we have 3 types of lookups available. An important interview question to know team. What is that team? What is that team? How many types of lookups we have in the system? Or how many types of lookup configuration levels we have? We have 3 types of lookups available team, and these are the 3: user defined, system defined, and extensible defined team. User defined lookup, system defined lookup, and extensible lookup. What is that types team? Where you can find? See, when you come to the lookup team, here you can see the lookup configuration level. It will let us know what type of lookup that is in the system. This is extensible type of lookup. See, lookup configuration level is extension. For some attributes, you can see team. Let's say if I come to marital status team, see, this is what is a marital status lookup team? The configuration level you are seeing user. So some lookups you can see that lookup configuration level as user. Some you will see is as extensible, and some you will see as system defined. So this lookup configuration level we have to refer to understand what is the type of lookup team. So we have total 3 types of lookups available in the system: user defined, system defined, and extensible. What is the nature of them team? The type means what team? Come back, I will tell you. I'm defining the email type lookup team. I came to that lookup of email type, and if I scroll down, I can see for my email type whatever the lookup codes currently available in this instance team. So these many things are there team. Private email, business email, personal email, office email. Many things are there you can see here team. But in the front end, I could able to see only 4 options coming up. But how many lookup codes currently in this instance for this email type is available team? But they all were switched off team. We have the flag here, see, enable, and that too validation with respect to start date and end date is there team. When you're configuring a lookup code, this all matters team. If you don't want that, you can switch off them. At the back end, the code will available team, but in the front end, it will not show. Only whatever the code that you enable and start dates also, whatever you are keeping, accordingly, it will show up team in the system. So that's okay, we will see now. But if at all your lookup is an extensible lookup team, you have a provision, see, add icon and plus icon means you can add the new value and you can delete the new value, correct team? So you can add and delete whatever you want to that lookup code team, but you cannot delete the seeded values. See team, if it is a extensible type of lookup team, system means for email type attribute in the system, as it is of extensible type of lookup team, you can add whatever you want for that particular attribute team. The new code, the value you want to add, you can add, and you can delete at the same time. But by default for this email type in the system, Oracle delivers standard codes, right team? They are these things: work email and home email. See now, I selected this third one, that is a home email. Okay, that is Oracle delivered one team. See, if Oracle delivered ones are there, we cannot even uncheck them. They are hard coded in the system team. But on top of the Oracle delivered means team, for the email type attribute in the system, work email and home email are standard Oracle delivered values, lookup codes for this field team. So by looking at their thing, you can see team enable. If it is hard coded team, you don't have an option to edit them. It means take it as blindly, and also starting from 11001. those values are standardly Oracle delivered codes for them. On top of that, whatever you are seeing, private email, business email, alternate email, Chichaka email, see someone defined this one, or office email, room email, these all are someone like you and me when practicing defined customly team. But when you are working in the real-time application team, for email type, by default, Oracle delivered values are these two. If it is an extensible type of lookup team, whatever you want to add, you add it team. And whatever you want to delete, let's say I don't want this private email. Already it was added, I don't want. Select it, delete it. Delete it. Click on yes. See, it got deleted. Business email, I don't want. Delete it. See, the values are deleted. But see now, whatever Oracle delivered to are there, home email, work email, I will keep my cursor on this one. Cross icon, what happened team? It became freezed. Or work email, I will keep my cursor. What happened to cross icon? It became freezed. Now I will keep my cursor on the alternative email team. It came. Means whatever Oracle delivered values are there, we cannot touch them. We have to use it. That is the meaning here. If it is of extensible type of lookup, you can add and delete only custom ones. You cannot delete the Oracle delivered seeded values. But some lookups you can see team, they are user defined. If it is a user defined, if you see here team, you can add and delete whatever you want in the system. Even the Oracle delivered standard ones also, system allow you to delete it. So if at all any lookup that you are configuring is of user type, then you can add and delete whatever you want. See team, I have given the information also, what they can do in the system, what we can do for those types in the system. Hope you understood the difference team in the user and the extensible team. In the user, you can add and delete whatever you want, but in extensible, you can add and delete only custom ones what you are adding to that particular attribute team. Seeded ones we cannot touch. The option of cross icon will get freeze it team. Some attributes team, you will see it as system here. In the place of extension and the user, you will see a system. They are system defined lookups team. If any attribute that you see the lookup attribute as system defined, plus and cross icon both will be in the frozen way, non-editable mode. Means you cannot add, you cannot delete anything to that particular field team. Whatever Oracle delivered standard list of values are there, we have to use them. We don't have any option to add any new values to that one team. So these are the three types of lookups that are available in the system. An important interview question to be noted team. What is a lookup? How many types of lookups? How you are going to configure them? Can you explain us? Right? So we should be in a position to know what is a lookup, how many types we have, what is the behavior for each type in the system. We should be clear team. Okay. Okay. And then team, now I am on this particular lookup team. Now I want to define a new lookup code. How? So click on plus icon, plus icon. Lookup code, you can give whatever you want team. So something I am giving it as personal emergency email, PEM. And team, display sequence order team. What is that team? In the front end, when you are hiring an employee team, when you come to that particular type, when you click on the drop down, home email coming on first position, work email coming on second position, office third, personal email on third. How? Display sequence. Whatever is the lower, that will show up first team. Right? Now I'm giving 1 to our value team. So when I come here, our value first show up here team 1, and then enable. Obviously, I want that to be showing in the front end, means it should be enabled. Start date and end date I can give 1951, and I can give as of now 31/12/4712. They are readable only team, even not readable, updatable only. Let's say after some time team, you don't want, you want to end date this, end date it. Going forward after that date, if you're hiring an employee also in this attribute, that field will not, value will not show up team. You can have that start date and end date. And then meaning you can give team. Personal emergency email. So team, whatever that you are writing in the meaning column, that will show up in the UI level team. When we are reaching out to the respective attribute, in the UI level, whatever the meaning that you are writing for your lookup, that will be shown team. Description, just I'm copy paste same. You can give it or optional, not mandatory also team. Just I'm giving the same. Tags concept, I will come in next 5 to 10 minutes team. So as of now, I defined a lookup code for my email type, that is personal emergency email. Now I will click on save and close. Right now I will go back team. I will cancel the transaction and I will come in to this transaction again team, because as we know that it's a cloud-based application. Simultaneously when we are doing team, it will take some time to get reflected team. So I will hire in any of the legal entities. Let's say in one of the China legal entity I am hiring. Okay, click on next. Now let me go to the second tab team, that is personal information tab, right? And then come to the email details team, click on plus icon. Now see here team, when I come to this particular field, where it is showing team, personal emergency email. My attribute is there here, right team? My lookup value. And that is also positioning at the top. Why? The display sequence I have given as 1. The lowest one will show up top in the listed team. In the ascending to descending order, they will place. And see the new value came in team. Like this, for whatever the attribute with list of values that are there on the screen, you want to customize, then go to that respective manage person lookups, manage assignment lookup, manage grade lookups. We have different tasks for each of the objects team. Go to that respective objects, find out that particular attribute on which you want to define, and then you can define like this team. So we have 3 types of lookups I told you. Accordingly, you have to take your decision to configure them in the system team. Now, within the concept of lookups team, when I'm defining a lookup code, there is something here called tags. What is this tag team? We can set up country level validation to our lookup code in the system team. This is our lookup email type. That is the attribute which you are seeing, email type. Okay. And these are the lookup codes that are available team. You can set up the country level validation to the lookup code team. What is that? My client is telling Kumar, now I am having the legal employers in different countries. I'm having my operations in China. I'm having operations in India. I'm having operations in US. I have a couple of legal entities across the globe team. Currently, I'm hiring an employee in China legal entity team in the system. My client is telling Kumar, if at all you're implementing, if at all a HR hiring in the country China, the legal employer which is based out in China, okay, then I want this personal emergency email. But I don't want this to be showing for the Indian based employees team. Means if at all hiring happening in Indian company, the country is India, the employee that whom you are hiring is India, and that is Indian based legal entity. Means whenever the HRs from Indian based legal entity hiring their employees team, it should not show in the list of drop down. Only home email, work email, office, personal, these 4 should be visible. Personal email should be restricted. Same goes with United States also team. Whenever a HR hiring in US based company, US based legal employer team, that country of United States, that attribute should not show. Means what team? The value or the lookup code that you created, your client expecting a validation with respect to the country. Then how team? We have a concept in place called tags within the lookups team. Once after you define that lookup code team, if you keep it as blank, then in this entire application, for every country, wherever the employee you hire in team, that particular option will show. Now it is open for every country team. You hire an employee in Indian based company or China based company or US, Australia, any company you take, any country you take, this will be available to you throughout the system. But if you want to validate with respect to any country, then you can enable the tags team. You can use plus and minus icons team. I don't want in India team. Let's say I can keep exclude it minus IN. Or I want only in China, or I want only in India, then include like this team, plus IN. So this is legislation code in the system team. If you go to manage geographies task, if you search for your country's team, you can see the legislation code for that particular country. So that legislation code you are going to use, and you are going to play around with plus and minus. So I want only in India. I don't want for any other country. Just add only plus IN. Then only in India, when the hiring happening, the value will show up team. The condition is other way around team. I want in all other countries except India. Then I will keep it as minus IN. Simple. Or even I can go with multiple combinations also team. I have a couple of countries. In India, I want. In US and UK, I don't want. Like this, you can use the minus and you can pass another column team. Sorry, another legislation details team. So whatever the countries you want, you can add them in the tags team. Whatever the countries you don't want, you can make it as minus team. So that is tag level concept within the lookups team. If you want to use it, any customer or the client expecting with respect to the country level validation, then make use of the concept of tags in the lookup team. If it is open, then don't give anything, just keep it blank team. So this is what the concept of lookups in the system team, defining the lookup and making use of the lookup codes available team. So one should be aware of what is a lookup, what are the types of lookups and their behavior in the system team. An absolute important question from the point of interview as far as core HR module is concerned team. So every screen we will be coming across the attributes team. For certain components, for certain objects, Oracle provided certain lookup tasks team. But if you don't find any lookup task for any of the object team, we have a task available called manage common lookups team. You can also go there and you can find any of your attribute here team. It's a common task for all attributes. If you go to manage common lookups, here you can find all the common attributes across the modules in the system team. If you know that attribute name, you can search here team. Then the lookup type will come here. Code you can configure here team. This is one common task for the lookups available to figure out any attribute in the system across the modules team. So this is about the concept of lookup definition in the system team. Okay.